JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 10th of November 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just a quick update on our JFD YouTube channel here, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yeah, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So let's jump into the charts. Let's see what's happening here. So this morning I talked about the German index here, the DAX, yep, it continues to push higher. We did see a bit of a correction here at some point, but yep, it continues to drift higher here. It's currently sitting near this near the highest point of October, which is around the 13,152 territory, roughly around here. So basically, in other words, if we see a nice daily close above it, then this increases the chances for a further move higher. But don't forget, of course, that we already had a decent rally here to the upside, so maybe at some point we could actually see a bit of a correction here to the downside. So again, let's keep an eye on this highest point of October near the, like I said, 13,152 territory. If this somehow manages to provide a good area of resistance, then of course, yep, we may see a bit of a slide here, a move lower. However, if the price stays above this downside line, above this one, taken from the high of the 3rd of September, then maybe we could see a nice rebound here and a push higher. So basically, I'm considering right now this idea, but if this hurdle here continues to provide good resistance, and the hurdle I'm talking about is the 13,152 territory. In terms of the downside, we would need to see this one falling heavily below the this downside line, and dropping below the 12,842 territory, roughly around here, in order to maybe start looking at some downside. You want to get a little bit more comfortable with that idea, then, well, you could wait for a drop below the 12,670 territory, and then yes, we could continue aiming lower. But like I said, if we drop already below this area, then I'll start looking at some downside. Now jumping into NASDAQ 100. Now here I talked about this one yesterday, and basically this is quite interesting. Of course, these are quite interesting developments here, because as you can see, the index closed it closed yesterday heavily, or I wouldn't say actually heavily, but closed in the red, and it was the only index from the top 3 US indices that ended the trading session in the red. Of course, mainly driven by the slide in the technological stocks due to the coronavirus vaccine, that kind of the whole announcement around surrounding the coronavirus vaccine. So basically, yep, that's where technology is kind of, or should I say, it was technology benefiting from the fact that people were staying at home. So so now, given that everything's kind of slowly changing and slowly heading towards the vaccine, then yep, we're seeing that travel stocks are kind of getting the upper hand right now. But of course, let's not rush into anything yet, guys. I mean, as we know, the history shows us that we should always keep an eye on for surprises, good or bad, and that's why for now we'll just go step by step on this one. And basically, coming back to the technical picture, we can see that yes, the index drifted lower. It fell below the below this downside line, so in a way, yes, we could see further declines. But as I've mentioned mentioned to you guys yesterday in my Trader's Tea Time. I said that keep your eyes on this 11,800 mark, and basically if that gets broken, then yes, we could start looking at some lower areas. For now, looking at the current picture on the cash index, we can see that the price is currently balancing near the 11,687.90 zone, so roughly around there. So basically we'll have ourselves a nice opening gap here to the downside below this hurdle, and in a way this way increasing its chances for a move further south. However, be very careful near the 21-day EMA shown here as the yellow line. Now I do know that I said that basically we could consider further declines, and we will, but this little obstacle here on the way, this 21-day EMA shown as the yellow line here, this is what you need to keep an eye on, because if it provides good support, and if it continues to provide good support, now then well, we could see the index kind of rebounding maybe and traveling back towards this downside line. But if this 21-day EMA gets cleared, well, I mean, then yep, lower levels here could be met, initially targeting the 11,467 target, and then we'll further below that, of course, we could aim for that upside support line taken from below the 21st of September. But again, for now, guys, let's keep it short and simple. All eyes are on the 21-day EMA here, and let's see or should I say, let's see if this 21-day EMA does provide support. If it doesn't, well, I mean, further declines are possible. Silver is similarly to gold that I've talked about this morning, is also, well, we're seeing a bit of retracement here to the upside, and you can see that previously when I looked at silver, I said that if we get a drop below the 24.49 territory right here, then yep, we could aim for these lower levels, initially aiming for the 100-day EMA here, which, as you can see, this area near this 100-day EMA acts as a very nice support zone from where the commodity reversed back to the upside here, but it only reversed higher, but it's continuing to get held here by this 24.49 territory, so roughly around here. So if it continues to do so, if the precious metal struggles to overcome it, then well, another slide here could be possible. So for now, I'm sticking to that idea. If the price somehow manages to get back above the 25.24 level right here, and now this is where, well, maybe I could start looking at some higher areas again, and maybe considering a possible move towards the 26.05 level or even higher. Ripple, quick update here. So I talked about Ripple recently as well, and basically what I was saying that we need to see this daily candle staying above the 0.26 territory, and well, yeah, we got a nice false breakout here today, but to be honest, that's not going to do here for the bulls, and yep, we need that daily candle staying above this area. For now, we're not getting that, we're just getting these false breakouts, these promises here, but yep, it's not really fulfilling its let's say obligations, I would say. But again, for now, like I said, we cannot really talk about anything here. The only thing we can keep an eye on is, of course, this upside support line taken from the low of the 13th of March, which continues to provide somehow support. By the way, if that gets broken, yes, we could start looking at some lower levels, but this is, as you can see here, this is the more comfortable level for me, the 0.2288 territory. I would like to see a drop below that in order to aim for some lower levels, because what I don't want to see here is basically this crypto ending up in being in a long-term range here, roughly between these two levels. And yep, that's why for now I'm gonna keep an eye on these two areas here. So let's see how this is going to play out. Now, jumping into AUDUSD, this morning, this is exactly what I was talking about, guys. Now, this morning I was saying that wait for a nice good move above the 0.7289 or 90 level here in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside. But also what I was saying that if we are in profit, put your stop loss just on break even in order for this one, if this somehow reverses back down, which it did, and this way we could protect ourselves. So basically, for now, I'm going to take a neutral stand because we were stuck in between these two levels. It's a very tight area, but nevertheless, I'm keeping an eye on it, because if we get a drop below this low, this 0.7245 territory, then yes, I'll start looking at some lower areas. Now, previously I talked about the 0.7085 level, but initially I'll target this area somewhere around here near the 0.7158 zone. But even before that, probably we'll have the 21-day EMA kind of already slightly above this area. Let's say we're assuming that if this is going to travel lower, so that means that this 21-day EMA could act as a good area of support. So basically, what we could see here is something reverse picture like here, for example, where we could see an overshoot, a few overshoots of this 21-day EMA, but still the daily candle would remain below it. And in this scenario, the daily candle could drop lower, break the 21-day EMA, but still end above, still keep the body of the candle above this 21-day EMA. So we could see even a test of the 0.7158 territory, but like I said, the body might stay here above this 21-day EMA. So that's why I'm considering this idea for now, only if we see a nice good move below the 0.7245 territory. Still, don't get me wrong, I mean, some of you could continue arguing that this is a nice bullish flag here. Yes, true, but again, we need that confirmation break here again above the 0.7290 level. So basically, if we do get that move, then yes, I'll aim for these higher levels. Quick update on AUDCAD, and here we're seeing a nice correction lower, but all eyes right now are on this 0.9450 territory right here. I talked about this area previously. Basically, this area previously acted as a good resistance level. So we managed to get a nice pop above it. We managed to travel higher. The pair found resistance around here yesterday near the 0.9515 territory. So now all eyes are going to be on this level again, the 0.9450. Now it's taking the role of support, and we can clearly see that today. So if the rate continues to balance above it, then, well, I mean, we could see this one kind of maybe reversing and pushing higher, and this is where we could see that nice bullish flag pattern here. So that's why for now, guys, let's keep an eye on this area right here and see how this is going to play out. Now, in terms of the downside, what I'm looking at here basically is something like, well, actually, it's not a well, to be honest, it's not a very clear picture, and to be honest, there's no clear level. And of course, don't get me wrong, I don't want to one of these levels is the 0.93 territory here, so a drop below this, of course, could create an opportunity here for more sellers, because at the same time the rate would be placed below the 200-day EMA here, shown as the black line. But given that we are having a bit of an area here, it's quite a decent area to miss out on. So basically what we could do here is maybe start looking at the levels around here, guys, somewhere around this mark here, the 0.9406, something like that, 0.94 level in general, because if we get a nice drop below the 0.94 territory, then of course this would place the rate below its 21-day EMA and the 100-day EMA here, shown as the green and the yellow and green lines respectively. So then maybe more sellers could join in. So again, but even then, guys, even if we see a drop below this area, still be very careful with this upside support line. So that's why it's a bit of a tricky one here, I would say, with the downside, unless we get at least a break of this upside line and then a drop below the 0.93 territory. So again, it's not really ideal for the sellers, but for the buyers, it could become quite an interesting one if we get a rebound, a nice rebound from the 0.9450 territory. USDCHF, quick update here, and the pair is traveling higher today. It's moving north. It came close to testing its downside resistance line taken from the high of the 28th of September. This is a tentative one, but nevertheless a downside resistance line. So all eyes are going to be on downward right now, but as I've mentioned to you previously, guys, even if I would like to aim for some higher levels, I'll still do that only after a break of the 0.92 territory right here, because you can see it was seen recently as a good resistance level. So that's why I'm going to wait this one out, and even even with the downside, although yes, we're still trading below this downside line. I mean, the trend is the short-term trend is still, or actually the trend is in general is still to the downside. So still, I would prefer to see maybe the pair dropping back below the 0.1993 territory, somewhere around here, and then aiming for some lower areas. So keep your eyes on that one. GBPCAD, now this one is quite an interesting one. So I mean, first of all, let me get rid of these arrows, because first of all, I mean, a while ago I talked about this idea where if this downside line continues to provide resistance, this downside line is taken from the high of the 31st of July, then yep, we could see a bit of a slide here. We got that. And then what I was talking about as well, that if we get a drop below the 1.7119 level right here, then yes, further declines here are possible. Initially I was targeting this 1.6980 territory, but then I said that if further declines could be possible if that gets broken. But as you can see, this area did provide somehow good support, and we saw a rebound. So first of all, let's get rid of these. Actually, let me recycle these lines. So now we had a nice rebound, so that's great news for the buyers, of course. But now basically, if you want to look at some higher levels, of course, we need a break of this downside line first. And just to kind of strengthen the upside scenario, a push above the highest point of October here could do the trick for more buyers. And that level is around the 1.7351 level. And then, of course, yep, we could start looking at levels like, for example, the highest point of September near the 1.7555 level, or even above that. But again, we'll get to that point if we get that strong push above this barrier. That's my barrier in order to consider the upside. Until we're here, I'm taking a bit of a neutral stand here, because even for the downside, I would prefer to see another drop here below this 1.7119 level here, because as you can see, it acted as a very nice area of support recently. So a nice good drop below it could, yep, open the door towards the now this time I'm going to target the 1.6980 level only, because as you can see, this area somehow provides good support. So, and then we'll take it from there. And finally, EURUSD. So here the pair is kind of stuck here today, I would say. This morning I said that if we get a drop below the 1.1787 territory and this 21-day EMA, then yep, lower levels here could be met. For now, yes, it's a difficult one here. I would say I'm taking a neutral stand, because if I want to aim for some higher levels, I'm going to wait for a push above the 1.1867 at least, and then I'll reevaluate everything again, because this whole area is still a very tricky one. But if you want to look at some lower areas, then well, like I said, a drop below this 1.1787 territory together with the 21-day EMA could do the trick for more sellers. So keep your eyes on that one. So guys, I really hope you found it useful. I mean, like I said, this was a very quick overview just to see what's happening. We'll pick up on some of these instruments, some new ones tomorrow morning, as always on my Traders Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. But for now, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow in my Traders Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. Thank you very much, and bye.